Makes me sad this. Welcome to Blue Abroad Analytics Corner. This is the last one of the year. I love doing these, and these are me my favourite things to do. We've had a bit of a change up throughout the year, and we're going to have another change up in the end because, you know, it's a big change for this football club. Our beloved son, Cade Simpson, leaves us at the end of this game as a player, and there's not going to be a dry eye in the house. Now, based on the Adelaide game, there was a lot being said about it. We know I was slightly miffed about it, as a lot of you were, and probably rightly so. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do, well, one player and the rest of the players and how they could beat Brisbane. And we're going to start off with Cade Simpson, Mr. 342 gamer, and he retires at the end of this. And we've had the tributes. I can't really add any more, but if there's anyone that amplifies this great football club. And let's take a look at Mr. Cade. As you know, he's a 79 out of 100, which is phenomenal given his age and how long we've got data to compare him against. It's a phenomenal performance. We look 15.3 disposals, 11.6 of them are kicks versus 3.8 handballs, 79% disposal efficiency, and a staggering 282.8 metres gained. And why he's important to how you play is when you look at teams that have done well against Brisbane and beaten them, there is two avenues in which they do it. One, they hurt them from turnovers from forward 50 entries, and two, they hurt them from the centre clearance and the ball getting onto the outside. And we've seen he marauds up forward. He has been that second, third release from the centre, and he also is that probably one of the primary ball users down the back that they look to get the ball from transition from defensive 50. And when you look at these numbers, you can see why. He's got high disposal efficiency. He hits targets. It's what he does. He loves that maraud down there. For me, there's no better sight in football than seeing old Cade just take a bounce down the wing. And for me, he's going to need to do that against this side. It's going to be a big game. Historically, players that do retire have big games. The ball seems to find them. It's an uncanny knack. And for me, he's going to be looking to attack that outside. He's going to be looking to put a bit of pressure on it. And for me, this is what he's good at as well. It's brilliant that in his 342nd game, potentially on paper, this is 3 Brownlow votes for him because players that have performed well have come from his position as well. They've looked to hurt them off the halfback line. 4 marks, one of them's an intercept mark per game, 1.2 spoils, 6.7 pressure acts, and 86.7% when he's on a one-on-one. Now, for me, this is going to be key for it. If he can quieten their pressure, they've got very talented small forwards. He can pressure them. He can hustle them. He can look to get them ground ball gets because they do bring it to ground a lot in the forward 50. This is Cade Simpson time, and he could have a great game. And for me, I'm looking forward to seeing his energy and his efficiency down half-back because if he has one of these 80% games and above, we're going to be well on our way to winning. Now here's the rest of these blokes, the rest of these miscreants. And this is minus Cade Simpson, so 81 overall for Carlton. And what we're doing is we've tried to take a little bit of a guess. We've removed Docherty, we've removed Fisher from it. 17.8 disposals, 10.9 of them are kicks, 6.9 are handballs, 55.4 disposal efficiency, 292 metres gained. And this is going to be really important for the boys here, this disposal efficiency. It's hitting targets, it's taking your chances. A lot has been talked about. This is 1 and 2 in kicks to handball ratio in the comp, and it's also bottom 4 for efficiency inside 50 from set shots. Also, an unknown stat is Brisbane are very efficient at getting the ball to hand inside 50, where we're bottom 2 at doing that. And it's going to be the tail of that. Can these efficiencies inside 50 be cleaned up? And for me, little 1%ers are things like Cade Simpson retiring. Players are going to look to focus that inside 50 a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit more intent. It's going to be a little bit more pride. We heard Nick Wishart tell us a wonderful story about Bryce Gibbs spewing for Cade's 250. That little thing can happen, you know. Players can give a little bit more. And with this incentive of Cade going, we're going to be looking to that intently. Can they clean it up? We look at contested possessions and ground ball gets. These are all around the AFL average. Clearances, obviously, it's a flawed stat because not everyone attends it. If you go with the ones that attend it, it's 6.8 each. So, I mean, that's huge. Clearances is where you can hurt this side. Dominating that centre clearance. Trying to break even in stoppage clearance. They're a very good stoppage clearance side. And the tackles here, I want to see that number increase. I want to see that about 4. I want to see the pressure acts around 20 because that's the intent of the ball. You put pressure on this Brisbane side, you create the turnover, scores from turnover have hurt them. And that is something that we're very proficient at doing. All in all, it's going to come down to a team effort with Cade. It's going to be looking to get them effort and intensity that Cade has personified throughout the years for this great football club. So hopefully we can give him a happy goodbye. Whether we win or not, that's going to be tough, but wouldn't it be great to see him carried off from a win from the blokes? Because for me, there is a hole now in who is going to represent this club. And it's a chance now for one of the young blokes to put their hand up. And I'm looking at Sam Walsh. I know he can do it. I just feel it's him. And we know he's got that effort. We've got that intensity. This is that game that a new star, a new son of this club is born as a father of it retires. Let me know what you guys and girls think of the matchups. I'd love to hear it. What are your score predictions? I'll see you next year for Analytics Corner. Stay tuned though, we're going to have Trade Corner coming up soon. Pom out.